to have a board meeting or other things, particularly if it's for, we've had it in the past with rentals of space when we have a very hot market, particularly in southern Maine a couple of times where they didn't want to lose the space. They asked us to sign the lease and then they were able to do it later on at the Board of Trustees meeting. So those are the three major ones that we like to talk about. Next. So if you take a look at the endowments for the University of Maine campus, the University of Maine Foundation has the lion's share. We have approximately 80% of the holdings of the endowments for the Orono campus. That we also have some that are held at the system office. We also have Pulp and Paper Foundation, which is the largest pulp and paper foundation in the country. So we are very pleased to have them here at the University of Maine also, and the 4-H Foundation. So those holdings give us our grand total, depending on markets every day. So next one. Just to give you a sense of where we stand within the system. So we're at approximately, again, depending on the markets, around 412. The next one would be USM. They're somewhere, if you ask today, probably closer to 40 million. These are from last year's numbers. Farmington, et cetera. So if you look at the overall holdings of endowments, the University of Maine is basically 80 to 85% of the holdings for endowments for the system campuses. We make up the lion's share again for those overall holdings. So that gives you a little bit of a sense of the different campuses and how we stack up within the system. And again, we were very fortunate because of getting started relatively early for a state that's per capita income of 38th in the country with the foundation and being able to get started early. And as many of you know, the eighth wonder of the world, as they call it, is being able to have compound interest. So the fact that we started in 1934, that class came back for their reunion for the 25th reunion. They decided that they wanted to found a foundation because even though most of the tuition at that time was funded by the state, they realized they had gone through a world war, a major pandemic, which I didn't even realize until recently how much of a pandemic that was with the Spanish flu, and then the Great Depression. So they started the foundation at that time to make sure that we would be able to support students at the University of Maine. Besides tuition, they realized that we would probably have to be able to support for other items besides tuition with room and board, books, and other items that they might need as a university. I'm going to take a look at, while he's working on that, I'm going to take a look at the overall pieces. The other thing I wanted to do today, we're very fortunate to have a student speaker with us. And so I'm going to recognize her and Lauren in just a moment here. If I can grab my notes. So our student speaker today is Lauren Torkett-Seavey. She is from the class of 23. She is also our senior class giving manager. So each year, senior class, we try to get them started with giving back something at that time with a class gift. We have a ceremony down at the Buchanan Alumni House where we welcome them as new alums and we give them giving cords that they wear for philanthropy at graduation commencement. And so she is helping us with that as we move forward with the senior class. And would you please welcome Lauren? Lauren.
Hi, everybody. My name's Lauren, as you guys have found out. I'm a senior here at the University of Maine. I am studying sociology with a double minor in marketing and graphic design. I'm a member of my major's honor society on campus, Alpha Kappa Delta. I have been fortunate enough to receive several scholarships through the university and through the state that have made it possible for me to thrive academically and in my extracurriculars. And because of this, I'm going to be graduating in May virtually debt-free, which is awesome. Very cool. So I grew up in Bangor, Maine. I was raised not only by a single mother, but by the community and by people who wanted to see me succeed and then see me give back to my community in turn. I was the vice president of my class at Bangor High School all 4 years. And in 2019, I was named the Senator George Mitchell Scholar for my high school. And now I represent the Mitchell Institute here on campus as the senior ambassador to the Institute, which is super fun. So I get to work with the Institute and with the school. Here at UMaine, I've been fortunate enough to receive 2 scholarships, the Norma and George Gray Scholarship, and then the Helen and Peter, and I'm sorry if I pronounced this wrong, Skoufis Scholarship. This social and financial support would not have been possible at any other institution. It would not have been possible without the support of all of the donors here at the university. And because of this, I've been so inspired. And that's why I am going to be the senior giving campaign manager this year. So I really want to give back to the institution that has helped me thrive and graduate within 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate that very much. Great job. Again, being able to show the support that our students receive is so critical from all of you, and we thank you very much for that. Got the next one? Yep, go ahead. If you can. You know, many people ask me, what if I can't start an endowment? Or what does it cost to even start an endowment? So it's both at the system office and at the UMaine Foundation. It's $10,000. You can spread that out over 5 years. And so we find that with many people, if they get started with their endowments, that they are able to move forward and to be able to have an endowment at UMaine. So most people who start at the $10,000 level give much more over time, and also their families do. So in my case, my fund is called the Mills Family Endowment, because I'm hoping my kids are going to follow my wife and Tammy and I with our endowment later on. Rainy day funds are not what endowments are. Almost all of our endowments are already selected by you for what purpose they will be used for the budgeting at the university. So they're built into the budget already. We are always looking for people who want to give unrestricted or undesignated endowments, but most public universities, particularly if you look at the other New England land grants, are about the same. I believe it's 99.5 and we're at 99.3. Each endowment fund that we set up with any of the donors is also signed off by the president's office and the system office to make sure that we're following university policies for those funds. The 3 major reasons why people usually have designated endowments. One is that donors want to make sure the money is going to what they selected to be. The other is that almost every dean, director, provost, president, everybody that you hire today for most senior level positions, part of their job is fundraising. So they are going through their priorities and meeting with the donors and being able to select those. And the other is that with major campaigns, almost all major campaigns today have designated funds that they are looking for with their campaigns. For example, we know a big campaign that's coming up that the Alphons have already helped us with the $240 million match that we have to do. Those funds are designated that we have to raise of 170. Some of those will have areas that they can be used for, but for the most part, designated funds. Most people I find when they ask me that they want an unrestricted fund, they usually want a restricted fund that is for their area. So it's still a restricted fund, but they often say, I would like an unrestricted fund, but those are usually what they are. Next. So we have a few major programs that we do as the foundation. We have the Legacy Society Luncheon, which is every other year, and that's for people who have done a planned gift in some way with us. The President's Club Brunch, which we're holding tomorrow for those that give $1,000 a year. The Stillwater Society Dinner, for those every other year. We do Legacy Society one year. The next year we do the Stillwater. The Stillwater Society Dinner is for those who have given $25,000 or more lifetime giving. You can see the people over on the right with the president and myself that we recognize. We recognize 3 philanthropy leaders each year. We had Matt Rodrigue, we had Dean Dana Humphrey, and we had the Chair of the Board of Trustees, Trish Riley, who's here today, and Matt is also here today. Then we have the annual meeting luncheon, which you see here today with homecoming. And also we have executive clubs. Those are based in Mount Desert Island, Bangor, Southern Maine, and Boston. And those are basically set up for people that do scholarships for their local area, and also to have a major speaker come each usually twice a year with those different clubs. So the three giving societies, we started really branding them together as the Triple Crown of Giving. And we have many of you here today that are in different parts of these societies. So the Charles F. Allen, once we started marketing that as the Triple Crown of Giving, we have had a 42% increase since FY13. Next one. Next one is the Stillwater Societies. We mentioned 25,000 or more to us in lifetime. We've had a 53% increase since FY13. Next one. President's Club, 72% increase since FY13. And where's Guy Piper? Guy, can you stand up for a moment? We have lots of bling. So you can see Guy is one of our most decorated people over here. He looks handsome with all of those pins. So very good, Guy. Yes. But if you want to be in all three giving societies and just wear one pin, you get the special bling piece up next. And that is our Triple Crown pin. And we now have a 91% increase in that since that time period. So I'm proudly wearing mine. And I know many of you here are Triple Crowns, or it's on your name tags even. So we hope that all of you will consider trying to become Triple Crown givers at some point. Next. A couple of other students that I wanted to mention that we before our student speaker had come up, and that's Andrew Guston. He received his work and was able to do it totally online, a degree in survey engineering technology. And he was able to receive the Roger Ferguson New England Scholarship section. And so he would not have been able to do that without that help of that scholarship. And the next one is Marla Gardner. Here she is in Death Valley doing her research, which she received from the GRU Earth Sciences Endowment Fund. So those are a couple of more of our students who have been very successful thanks to you and your donations. So many people often ask, well, what if I can't do an endowment, or what could I do that would be very easy to do that would be able to help with the University of Maine? Black Bear license plate. Yes, the Black Bear license plate. So the UMaine Foundation, every year when the students are accepted, all Maine registered students, we send a letter with a free voucher for them to be able to be welcome to the University of Maine and to get a Black Bear license plate. And if they don't have a car, they can get it for their family or a relative. If you have one of these, $10 every year goes to our scholarship fund. And as you can see up there, over 1.6 million has now been raised from the Black Bear license plate. Very pleased to see that. Now, you may be saying, that's wonderful for the students. What about us? Well, we have vouchers for all of you today. On the way out, if you would like to pick one up at the table, we have a voucher for you. You can get your Black Bear license plate right out there, which will be great. So, and you can do that and you'll be helping. I like to say it does three things. Number one, it helps with scholarships. Number two, it markets the university everywhere you go. And number three, it stamps out road rage. If anybody cuts you off with a Black Bear license plate, you know they can't be an idiot if they went to the University of Maine. So make sure you have your Black Bear license plate. Simple, easy to do. Okay, next one. So we finished our 200 million campaign. We're in the planning stage now for the next campaign. And as we said, the Alphon gift will be the foundation for that. We were asked by the Chancellor's office to lead the phase one of the Harold Alphon 7.5 million Portland Maine Center campaign, which we were able to finish with the help of the Law School Foundation and also the USM Foundation. And as I said, we're beginning the silent phase as we now move forward with the campaign. We also had the grand opening for the largest humane system capital project ever with the 78 million Furlan Center. That was a combination which more and more we're going to see because of the cost of these projects with a $50 million bonding from the state and then 28 million that we raised from that. It was also the largest capital gift at that time for a naming gift. Next. Foundation was also, the CASE is the Council for Advancement and Supportive Education. Each year they recognize one member from each of the four-year institutions and the two-year institutions. And we were recognized with the Humane Foundation this last year for the National Award for fundraising. And so this last year is our largest fundraising year ever, 43.5 million raised for the year. Many of you know we were asked to take over and merge with the development office. The 5-year average at the time of the merger for the prior 5 years was 19.9 million. Since then, post-merger, we've been averaging 30.8 million. So that's an increase of over 10.8 million per year. So thank you all for what you do today and appreciate it all. And go out there and market all of those informations and see how well you can do with everybody that's out there. Thank you very much. And now we have a special recognition for our highest award that we give at the annual each year meeting. And that is for our honorary foundation members. So I'd like to ask our chair once again, Bob Strong, to come up. And if we could have Amos and Lola Orchid come up also. Gonna get you up here for the picture, you know.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
So let me read the certificate we're going to award Amos and Lola. We hereby certify that Amos E. Orchid, class of 64, and Lola R. Orchid, 69 honorary, were duly elected and hereby recognized as honorary members of the University of Maine Foundation for their outstanding philanthropy and service, commencing with the annual meeting of the corporation held on this 14th day of October, 2022. Congratulations, the two of you.
Well, thank you. It's nice to see everyone here. President Farini Mundy and distinguished guests, alumni and friends of this university. We thank you and we thank the foundation board and the nominating committee. Lola and I are grateful and appreciative for selecting us to become an honorary member. The University of Maine has been very good to me and in many ways, so it's easy for us to give back. We are full of gratitude. I was given a good education back when. I was given a job on campus, so I had an opportunity to work all 4 years. And more importantly, I was given a scholarship. And that was life-changing. I had saved enough money for the first year, but the second year was a bit problematic. So the Associate Dean of Agriculture at that time was Dave Huntington. I will never forget that man. He gave me an H.P. Hood scholarship for $400. Well, in 1961, $400 was megabucks. And it was a turning point. So private support made a difference in my life. I was the first in my family to receive a 4-year degree. My father had gone for 2 years, but back to the farm. There's a lot of research on the economic impact associated with receiving at least a 4-year degree. Some of that research is done right here on this campus. Research also supports that giving is good for the soul, the mind, and the body. In 1990, I had an opportunity to go to work for the UMaine Foundation. What a terrific job. I met the most wonderful alumni who, like myself, were grateful for their public education, many with great foresight and generosity who wanted to establish their funds. I found that the alumni enjoyed the foundation because it was a separate organization dedicated to carrying out the donors' wishes. I also found that the foundation could do things for the university that the university could not do for itself. And Jeff has mentioned some of those today. The foundation was and is a great partner for the university, quick, nimble, without being encumbered by a lot of rules and regulations. The foundation, think Buchanan Alumni House is one example. The foundation, along with the Alumni Association, another separate organization, planned and developed this beautiful building, which is now the front door to this university. All private support, no public money. And it is one, if maybe the only one, building on campus that is fully endowed for its operation and maintenance. There are many other examples, and the Green Endowment we started, and Spiffy that's been mentioned here today. I remember the very day that Bob Strong came to my office with a couple of students. So to summarize, if you want to have a richer, fuller, and happier existence, then go see Jeff Mills and staff. They will help you establish your fund if you haven't already, and it'll be the greatest investment that you've ever made. Thank you for honoring us today, and it's nice to be back on this campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Lola, and thank you, Amos, for those words. Amos is the president emeritus of the UMaine Foundation, and a title well-deserved. He's been so great to me. When I took over the job, he helped to recruit me to come back to my alma mater. He's gone on visits with me. We meet regularly for dinner. He always has lots of good ideas, and I'd like to say, Amos knows where all the old gifts are buried. It's good. So appreciate it very much. We now have a very special announcement, and at this time, I would like to ask the president to please come up and to give us that news.
It is my great honor to announce that Philip and Susan Morse, University of Maine class of 1964, have committed a $10 million gift to the University of Maine. Yesterday, the University of Maine System Board of Trustees authorized the receipt of the gift and the naming of Morse Arena, which will be a part of the multipurpose, multipurpose arena that is part of the UMaine Athletics Master Facilities Plan. All of this, of course, part of the $90 million challenge grant activity for UMaine Athletics, which is part of the University of Maine System Transforms project funded by the Harold Alfond Foundation. So this extraordinarily generous gift will advance the work on that portion of the UMS Transforms activity and will make an incredible contribution to the students, to the people of Maine for decades to come. This gift is accompanied by commitment to naming a significant interior space for the Morse's longtime friend, Thomas Skip Chappell. UMaine basketball legend in the interior of the multipurpose arena. So we also should celebrate the naming of the Chappelle component. I tell you, presidents don't very often get to make these kinds of announcements. So this is really a big deal for me. So apologies for being a little bit scattered. Phil Morse, who is vice chairman of the Boston Red Sox, has been since 2004 and a partner since 2002. And his wife, Susan, met at the University of Maine. They live in Lake George, New York, and Jupiter, Florida. At UMaine, Susan majored in education and Phil majored in sociology. He also lettered in baseball and was a member of Sigma Chi fraternity. Upon her graduation from UMaine, Susan taught school in Darien, Connecticut, and in Sudbury, Massachusetts. The Morses are not here today. They will be here tomorrow with their family, and we can't be more excited about welcoming them back to their alma mater, celebrating this extraordinary gift. And I do hope if you are able to see them, you're able to say hello and to thank them. We know that this gift will make a lasting difference for the UMaine student experience, and will be something that Maine's only Division I athletics program can be proud of for so long. So again, a moving and extraordinary gift representing their deep commitment to this university and to our students. Thank you for being able to be here to share in this wonderful news. Thanks.
Wonderful. It takes a real team to put together a gift like this. I want to thank particularly the chancellor, the chair of the board of trustees, Trish Riley, and the trustees. They did a special meeting for us just so that we could announce this gift for homecoming, and I appreciate that very much. Also want to mention that it wouldn't be possible to have the gift without some others that have been very involved. This gift, like many of the gifts, like the Furlan Center gift, they take decades many times with people being involved with you. And so we had a lot of other people that have been involved with helping, and especially with getting things through the paperwork that we had to get through to get here today. The AD, Samantha Hagman-Wary. I also would like to thank from our office, the person who handled all of the legal activity for us to be able to stay on track and to get everything through with working with the BOT staff, and that's Sarah McPartland Good, our general counsel. Sarah, she's still here? Yeah, Sarah. And I want to particularly thank, he's not here today, he'll be here tomorrow, and he'll be the person that's escorting the Morses onto the field when they're recognized with the president and others tomorrow. And that's the person that's been working with them for more than a decade with their gifts and stewarding them, and that is Seth Woodcock. So if we could give Seth a great hand also. Thank you to the Morses. We'll see all of them here tomorrow, as we mentioned. I hope many of you will be able to be here. This will bring us to our conclusion, except for the one more thing that we have to do. And that's if we could have our director of the Collins Center, please come up, Danny Williams. And so some of you may have known that Danny and Ralph Leonard have the M pants, which they bring out. These are the more formal ones, only for homecoming. These are the formal. He has khakis and is it white? Blue ones. So he is decked out very well today, and he will lead us in the only university song to ever be #1 in the country for 8 weeks in a row. So all of you, if you don't remember the second verse, the words are on your table. Please stand and Danny will take it away for us.
I hope you're all in good voice. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and fill the steins to dear old Maine. Shout till the rafters ring. Stand and drink a toast once again. Let every loyal Maine fan sing. Drink to all the happy hours. Drink to the careless days. Drink to Maine, our alma mater, the college of our hearts always. To the trees, to the sky, to the spring and its glorious happiness, to the youth, to the fire, to the life that is moving and calling us, to the gods, to the fates, to the rulers of all their destinies, to the lips, to the eyes, to the ones who will love us someday. Fill the steins of dear old Maine, shout till the rafters ring. Stand and drink a toast once again, let every loyal Maine fan sing. Drink to all the happy hours, drink to the careless days. Drink to Maine, our alma mater, the college of our hearts always.